like they're just playing with leaves or something and playing with
They
twigs.
got like a stick and they just
and they just drawing in the dirt, and then they just see somebody set up camp. Oh, okay, now we have them having some fun tonight. Like,
right.
What are you doing in the forest in the first place?
How is it going today, Loyalists? Can you know my name's Dwayne?
My name's Jazz.
We're Dwayne and Jazz. Today we have for you 3 true forest horror stories by Mr. Nightmare. I'm sorry.
I was supposed to say horror forest.
No, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I never went camping, and I had a forest in my backyard, but I never went. One day I was mowing the lawn, and I could have sworn something was moving back there. I hightailed it up that hill. I ain't played no game, so I'm really interested in this one. Make sure, guys, if you have a reaction request, please follow us on all social medias and link in the description below, and don't forget to
subscribe.
What's that one in? I know you don't mess with forests.
I don't.
Yeah.
You know.
Scout Right Anonymous, LA Fishman.
You know the one by Anonymous means it must be real bad.
Yeah, got it.
He couldn't even put his name.
Every so often when we were little, our parents would go away for a weekend while our Uncle Ron would watch us. Our Uncle Ron has been single his whole life, but
So
he
didn't
always
really
loved
watch you.
kids.
Oh, okay.
So he always happily did it. One Friday night, the same night our parents left town, we were all watching Titanic during a monster snowstorm. Me, my 2 brothers,
Really?
my older sister, and our Uncle Ron.
It's like a romance movie.
I remember certain parts of this night so vividly, but other parts I just draw blanks. I do remember, however, that the power flicked off briefly, and we had to reset the VCR to get back to where we were.
And it's old, yeah, it's old.
VCR,
Shortly
geez.
after that, our Uncle Ron was fast
People don't even
asleep.
know what that is.
We let him sleep while we kept watching the movie. It was at the part where Rose was running with the axe back to the room that Jack was trapped in. One of my brothers was coming back from the bathroom, and on his way, he went outside for whatever reason, likely just to look at the snow. He came back inside yelling for us to come take a look at something. Starved for a little excitement, I guess, the 3 of us ran to the back door. We could see what he was talking about now. There was a set of footprints in the snow. It led from the back door, then to the window, and then back in the direction of the yard and woods. To make the matter
somebody
even
was
more
checking it
eerie,
out.
he said he heard the back door knob turn. Our sister, even though she was the oldest by 3 years, ran inside freaking out. My brothers and I, on the other hand, were kind of excited by it and wanted to follow the footprints.
What?
Our sister was threatening to wake up our Uncle Ron as she saw us putting our coats and boots on. But I convinced her it'd be fun and we weren't going too far. And that we'd be together.
No. I don't think so.
She went back to the living room to watch the movie without us while we all marched out into the cold snowstorm, following the footprints that were quickly filling in with new snow. The footprints led to the woods in the backyard. The deeper into the woods we got, the deeper the footprints were. We weren't sure if that was because less snow was falling to the ground under the trees, or because the footprints were fresher. We were following those footprints for a while, until finally, we saw where they were leading to. A cabin, literally tucked away in the woods. It
was the
dark
cabin in the
woods?
Yeah.
No light was emitting from the windows. The footsteps led to the front door of the cabin, but we didn't dare go up to it. Instead, we crept over to the closest window to peer inside.
At least that's
It was
more.
too dark to see anything inside, though. But we noticed it wasn't actually a glass window. It was just a screen. Then there were 2 thumps from inside of the cabin. And then the sound of something sliding. We didn't see what caused the sound, though. Suddenly, one of my brothers screamed and pointed behind us. We turned to see a head poking out from another window of the cabin. But it was so dark, all we could see was blackness, no features. Then the head disappeared from view as we heard rapid thumping sounds inside of the cabin.
Y'all better run.
And then the front door to the cabin burst open. We all screamed and ran for our dear lives back in the direction of the house, following the footprints. I don't think we were actually chased, though. The next day, we tried taking our Uncle Ron on a hike to that cabin, but we couldn't for the lives of us find it. The creepiest thing to this day, we still live in the same house, and after all these years, we still never came across that cabin again. In fact, we can't even find it on maps or Google Earth. If it weren't for the fact that I was with my 2 brothers, I would question if this ever even happened.
Y'all need to move.
So,
Y'all need to
yeah, I
move.
know. Y'all got ghost
I don't know why
cabins
y'all
coming.
staying in the same spot.
Y'all got ghost cabins coming from anywhere. How would you feel about that? Like, we went, like, let's say we was in a situation we went exploring. You guys been looking at me like that because we,
I'm about to say,
we don't do that.
That would not happen.
But I'm just saying, if we did,
okay.
and then we went to a cabin and we couldn't find. We found the cabin. Like, we couldn't. We saw it and we saw all this, and we left and we couldn't find the cabin. Like, it was nowhere to be found. How would that make you feel?
Scared. I would feel like the dude probably covered his tracks.
How do you cover up a whole cabin?
Huh? No, not the cabin. I'm saying the tracks leading to the cabin.
Oh, yeah.
That's how they found it in the first place. So I think that he probably went back outside, covered the tracks, like, as he was going back, so that they don't find it or.
But they should know the general. Well, I don't know.
I don't know. They said it was a blizzard, so. I don't know.
Still oddly peculiar. But let's dive on in.
My friends, who I'll refer to as S and J, came along with me on a little camping trip near Blue Mountain National Park. We set up camp near a small pond, just because it seemed like the coolest place to chill. The point of this whole trip was mainly just to get out, drink a bunch of beers with friends, and chill.
Campfire and chill.
My second Budweiser, laughing
Camp
up
and
with
chill?
S and J, talking about some of our other friends, with music playing in the background, overall just having a good time. Then, however, I saw S reach over for the speaker and turn it down all the way, and then shushed us and pointed out to the pond. S whispered, "Do you guys see that?"
It's Jason.
Jay and I looked out to the pond.
It was like a
The
campfire.
campfire had a glow that partially reflected on the pond water, but even yet, I couldn't see what he was pointing at. S whispered, "There's something in the water." I went into the tent to get the flashlight from my bag. When I came out, S said don't, but I turned it on anyway and aimed it at the pond. The light didn't reveal anything or anyone, but we did all hear the sound of water being pushed, as if someone or something were walking in it.
I was gonna say an animal.
I turned out
maybe?
the light just because I was freaked out and looked at my two friends, who were both wearing cringing faces. I told S to shut off the speakers completely now. We all sat in our chairs, not really saying much anymore, just listening to the surroundings. About an hour passed, and within that time, nothing happened. So we grew more comfortable again, and things went back to normal.
I wouldn't. I'll be paranoid
Eventually, I
all the
went to
time.
my tent, and S and J went to the tent that they'd be sharing, and we all went to sleep. Now that I was alone with my thoughts, however, I started thinking of that thing that S said was in the water. He never actually described what it looked like, if it was an animal or a person.
Could have been an animal. That's what I think.
My sense of hearing was heightened as I was in a state of alert, and because of that, I heard something from the woods. I sat up, since that always seems to help with concentration. I needed to hear one more sound before I could confirm something wasn't right. There was the sound again, much closer now, and I was able to confirm it was a foot hitting the ground. Whether it was a person's foot or an animal's foot was still unclear, however. I heard another footstep, this time much closer. It was clear someone or something was sneaking around our campsite.
Oh
There
no.
was one final footstep.
Many
It was
weapons.
really close to the tent. I started texting S, but I was only able to type out the words, "There's something," before the gut-wrenching, blood-curdling scream pierced through the walls of the tent. I couldn't tell if it was the scream of a man or a woman. It's hard to explain, but it was deep enough where it could be a man, but not so deep to the point that it couldn't be a woman. The scream lasted about 5 seconds. Then there was silence. I didn't know if I should get out, call for my friends, or stay silent.
Did one of your
I
friends
texted
die?
S, "Dude, we have to run."
Right.
He responded, "What was that?" I didn't answer right away. Instead, I tried to think of what we could do. But pretty soon, S texted me again, saying the coast is clear, run for the car. I grabbed the keys from my bag, opened the zipper to the tent, and sprinted to the car, which luckily was only about 30 seconds away. We stayed in the car all night and went back the next morning for our stuff, which luckily was all still there.
They just left.
Still
They was
have no
gone.
idea who or even dare I say what that thing was at our campsite that night. Just happy we got out okay.
Oh my god. You better not do that in the It movie. Stop.
Skipping most of the background of the story,
It's like
I
a
once found
swamp right
myself
there.
walking through the
Like
woods
that
during
one.
a slight drizzle. All I had on me was my backpack with a spare pair of pants, a flashlight, a tripod and camera, and some granola bars. I'm a photographer and video editor, and I was recording footage of a forest during rain, a
kinda
river during
creepy.
rain, and snagging
ASMR.
some pictures as well. Long story short, I found myself lost, trying to find my car. It was the worst day of my life. I was panicking, stressed, screaming to myself in anger, just wanting to find the car. I'd say an hour after getting lost, I started to pick up on noises around me. I don't mean multiple noises at once. I mean at times I'd hear the same noise, just on different sides of me.
They
The
following
noise was
you?
footsteps,
Right.
undeniably. I was starting to panic that I was being hunted by a bear. That was only at first, though. I slowed down to quiet my own footsteps so I would more likely hear where the other footsteps were. But when I did, I turned my head as quickly as possible in that direction. I saw half a person's body jumping behind a tree.
Ooh.
Instead of calling out something or confronting them,
Run.
I did what I still think was the smart thing.
Run.
I walked away fast, playing it off like I didn't
Walked.
see him.
Okay. I would have ran.
It was starting to get darker every minute now, and the rain was still coming down lightly, but my heart was racing faster than ever. I checked my phone every 10 seconds and finally got one bar. I stopped walking, wiped the screen of rainwater, and opened maps first thing to find the nearest road, which was very close. I let out a sigh of relief, only to hear footsteps closing in on me from behind.
Oh,
Oh,
my
boy.
goodness.
I turned and spotted the person again. It was a man, and I know that in of itself doesn't sound so disturbing, just really sketchy, but I'm telling you, the sight was horrifying. I could only see the man briefly before he jumped behind a tree once again, as if he thought I couldn't see him. But he looked
This ain't no
huge.
game.
Really tall, average build, maybe a little overweight, jeans, and from what I could tell, a
Plaid
dark
shirt.
blue jacket.
I was about
with
to
the hood
say
up,
plaid
half
shirt.
It scares.
exposed
Say
to a
no.
white shirt underneath. He also
Like,
had
hey
on
guys.
glasses, but that's
And
all
then
I
hide
could
back
see
in
his
his
face.
bush.
He was hiding behind a tree maybe 15 feet away, and over the sound of millions of raindrops, all I heard was psst, psst.
Hey guys.
Now I ran. I didn't care anymore. I was borderline about to have a panic attack. I continued running when I found the road. I ran until I thought there was no chance of him catching up to me. Then I continued walking until I finally hitched a ride from a passing car, who took me back to where I was parked. I didn't bother mentioning what happened to the driver. I just told him I got lost is all. He went on his way as I got into my car and drove the half-hour trip back home, all the while reflecting on what just happened and my life.
This is what I want to know. Whenever people go out like camping or like they're in a forest or something like that, like they're out in nature. Like like why do killers seem to always just be chilling out like in the middle of nowhere, like in a forest, just sitting there, just waiting, like they're just playing with leaves or something and playing with
They
twigs.
got like a stick and they just like.
And they just drawing in,
Then they hear
in the
somebody-
dirt, and then they just see somebody set up camp. Oh, okay, now we have them having some fun tonight. Like,
Right.
what are you doing in the forest in the first place?
I don't know.
Like, why are you just there? Like, what are you doing?
I have no clue.
Because I know you have a home. So go to it. Like, where is it?
I don't know. It's
I don't-
just always like that, right?
It's always like they just be just chilling outside in the middle of nowhere. You could be in a cornfield and someone just coming, and they not even part of the farm. Like where do
Where
you
yeah.
belong to? Like I don't even know. Like that's what I want to know. Like
Yeah.
why are y'all there?
Me too. But yeah, you have any like camping, like not camping, like forest, like encounters?
Nope. 'Cause I
I
never
know.
walked in it.
I remember I think I told you the story. It was like some me and my parents were coming home. It was the most frightening thing
What?
ever.
What?
So we're coming home, it's late at night, we talk to each other, we just chilling and stuff like that. I think I was like 16, 17. So we live down this big hill, so we go down this big hill and we take a left towards our house. In the yard, it was like my heart started pumping.
What?
We stopped talking. There was like this big dark figure in front of our yard. Like it was huge.
Y'all couldn't see what it was?
No, we couldn't see what it was because we were just turning. So we kind of like froze. My dad like was driving and he kind of like froze. And all you saw was like a huge dark figures. And we was like,
did y'all stop the car or y'all kept
no,
going?
like they inched the car because we was like, you know how you just caught a surprise because we all chilling and laughing, and then it was like big dark figures and it was all across the lawn. And so in my first thought was it's aliens. I'm sorry. I was like,
What?
it's aliens because it was I'm telling you.
I thought you would have said like, oh, it's a deer.
No. I thought it was aliens. I thought it was aliens. I really
gosh.
thought it was aliens because I'm telling you, I still remember the story. In my head, it was terrifying. It was really, everyone in the car stopped talking because we was like, what is that? So he flashed on the what is it? The lights, the headlights, and it was deer. They was all in the herd, but we never seen any in the herd. That was like 10 of them in a herd in front of our house. Like I'm not saying like off to the side of my house. Like no, they were in front, like in front of our house.
I know, like in front, like in my neighborhood, I'm used to seeing deer.
Yeah, but we
all
never
the
used to
time,
seeing them
so.
like in all, like it was like 10 or 15 maybe. All
It's a family.
Yeah, but not that big. Usually you don't see that many. So he was like, I thought it was aliens because it looked weird the way the shadows was making it look. It looked like big aliens, bro. I was about to lose my mind.
I'm sitting here like, oh, I thought it was a deer, but it was something else. No, I thought it was aliens.
I thought, look, hey, that's 17. I'm thinking I was watching conspiracy theories. I was like, But anyway, guys, please comment below. Don't forget
to like,
subscribe,
and share.
Tomorrow, guys. Deuces.